everybody. I'm Lisa Brennan.
And I'm Justin Trice.
Welcome to Crime of the Arts, a true crime podcast that peeks behind the curtain to shine a light on the dark and untold truths of the creative arts.
From film set mysteries to celebrity murders and art heists, these two theater nerds will usher you into the unknown.
So this week, my story is about the Poltergeist movie Curse.
And I'm going to tell you about a former Power Ranger. I know when I say that, people right away, I was like, well, there's quite a few Power Rangers that's done some fucked up things. Well, we're going to go into a real random one with Ricardo Medina Jr., but we'll get into that a little bit later.
Going into obscurity.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am going to go first. What is happening here? Okay, there we go. So, I mean, you've seen the Poltergeist, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I am like not a horror movie person at all. I can't stand it. So,
I can attest to it. She does not do it. She doesn't watch horror.
I hate it so much.
Mm-mm.
Justin and I, Justin shares with me his Plex. And his Plex is full of horror movies. And I'm like, nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Nope. I am not a horror fan. But of all of the like famous culty classic-y horror movies, I've actually seen this one.
Look at you.
Yeah. Imagine. I mean, I saw it a long time ago before I was like, I'm an adult and I don't need to do this to myself. But yeah, like The Shining. Never seen The Shining.
Damn.
Nope. I mean, I know the things in The Shining, like red rum, whatever, but never seen it.
That's wild. And in my defense, 'tis the season. It is October. So yeah, my media server is going to be bumping with just random horror
in
films.
Your defense, it's already bumping with random horror films. Doesn't matter what month. It could be fucking Christmas. And you're like,
true.
Christmas more horror movies. You're like,
listen,
with the what's the scary one that people scare their kids with in another country?
Krampus.
Krampus. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
Krampus. People are fucked up, man. Christmas is supposed to be fun. That's not fun.
I listen, horror is just one of those things. It could go with anything. You could have some Thanksgiving horror. You can have some Valentine's Day murder.
Well, Valentine's Day murder.
Horror. Yeah. Whoops, horror.
Yeah. So I did actually see this movie. And this is, again, one of those things where, is it cursed? Is it haunted? There's bad juju all over it? You're talking about Poltergeist, which is like a poltergeist kind of like haunts a house or whatever being.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get into it. I'm going to give you a bunch of little stories of things that happened either while filming this movie or things that happened to the actors in the aftermath of this. So a reboot of the classic, the 1982 horror film Poltergeist came out in 2015. Did you see it?
With Sam Rockwell, yeah.
Okay.
It was pretty decent.
All
It was
right.
pretty decent.
But does it compare at all to the original?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, there is one part that had me freaking the fuck out. You've seen the 2015? Have you seen the reboot?
Oh, I was very much a grown person at that point. I'm not watching that fucking movie.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you really quick.
Okay.
So there was like a hole in the wall and they had a worker trying to patch it up or whatever the case might be.
I'm already out.
And exactly. This man put his hand in there and I don't know who this fucking person was. This was like a random person with like maybe 2 to 3 lines, but I was like, that's either some powerful acting or maybe just on the other side of that wall, they had someone pull his fucking arm through and he wasn't prepared for that. Like something pulled his arm through. He was freaking the fuck out. Like the horror in this man's face looks so believable. But the film itself doesn't compare to the original film. No way in hell. No.
All right. So yeah, nothing can compare to the original film. I mean, that's the whole point. While no horrific accidents occurred in the filming of the new movie that we know of, at least, there are plenty of rumors of a curse that fell over the original film's trilogy cast.
Oh boy. Okay.
And also I guess I need to defend myself. I didn't even know that there were 3 of these movies. That's how much I don't like fucking horror movies.
Well, I mean, that's okay. You don't like horror films, and the second and third ones weren't that great. But the first one, I mean, yeah, you should know it.
I know the first one. I do.
Yeah.
Okay, so the movie revolves around a suburban family who moves into a new home, and they begin to notice some strange things surrounding their young daughter. So all of this begins with skeletons. This is the first major thing that happened on the set that you're like, what is going on? So in the movie, Jo Beth Williams, who plays Diane Freelings, is dragged into her family's swimming pool by a supernatural force identified as the Beast. And she escapes to rescue her children, but not without being confronted by the skeletons of the people that, unbeknownst to her and her family, were still buried in the ground underneath the new home that they lived in. Do you know about this?
Mm-hmm.
So in an interview that aired on VH1 in 2002, Williams said, and I quote, "I would have to go to this huge tank of what I thought was mud with these skeletons, which, by the way, I thought they were plastic, but later found out they were real
They were fucking real. Yep.
What a fucking nightmare." Can you imagine? Having no idea and then finding out after the fact?
I probably would have had a heart attack. Like if they told me, like imagine you're watching your own screening. Oh my God. You're watching the own screening to your film and then later on they reveal to you, yeah, those are real skeletons.
And you're like, those skeletons were so realistic. And they're like, yeah, because they were. And you're like, what the fuck? She expanded in a separate interview that was aired on TV Land's Myths and Legends in 2008. And she said, you have to understand that this sequence probably took 4 or 5 days to shoot. So I was in the mud and the goop all day, every day for 4 or 5 days with skeletons all around me. She's like, and I was screaming. And in my innocence and naivety, I assumed that these were not real skeletons. I feel like there's nothing to do with her innocence or naivety in that. I would never fucking think that they would have the audacity to take actual human skeletons and do what they did to them and put them in this movie.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You'd be surprised because that's what I was about to ask you now. I'm like, did she ever explain why they did it? Was it cheaper for them to get real skeletons?
Yeah. So
because
she talked about it. So she says that she was like in there screaming in all that muddy water. And she's like, I was just like terrified of it being in my mouth, like the water and the whatever. And now add into the idea that it's just like soupy human skeletons that you're sitting in for days. And she did say that she found out, as did the whole crew, that they were real skeletons because it was far too expensive to make fake skeletons out of rubber.
Yeah, it's fucked up. And that was like a thing in the 80s because Piranha, like with James Cameron, Lance Henriksen, all of that, the body that's used in there, that's a real body. And like, at least James Cameron told like Lance Henriksen and the cast, he forewarned them that it's cheaper to get that body, a cadaver, versus make the fake body for the water and everything else that they had to do.
So I was talking to my husband about this story with the skeletons, and he was telling me, now we all know I work in the business of death in my regular life. And when a person passes away, you can like donate their body to science. You can turn your body into a tree. You can turn it into a crystallized paperweight. There's like a million things that your family or you can have done to your body when you pass away. I know it's like a little morbid that we're talking about this, but is there like a place where you could donate your body to movies? Like, is that a thing?
I mean, you don't. That's the catch. You don't really get a say.
Well, that's kind of fucked up, don't you think?
That's why I don't want to donate shit, Lisa, because like, you know, maybe I'll be lucky and I'll be in like Weekend at Bernie's Part 4 or something random. Or maybe I'll just be used as like a test dummy for military missiles. Like, you don't know.
Okay, so like, that's what the fuck we were talking about. What, did you just read an article about that?
I actually saw something about that before, like last month.
That's exactly what we were talking about.
That's what I saw that last month and I was like, get the fuck out of here.
So he's like, this guy donated his mother's body to science, quote unquote. And the government bought it from this company that he donated his mother's body to for science, quote unquote. The government bought it for $6,000 and strapped it to a fucking bomb and blew it up. Shut your mouth.
Yeah, see, I can't fuck with that. Listen, RoboCop taught us this shit. RoboCop 1, they gunned that man down for like a minute and a half in a scene, and then they take him to the hospital. He's like barely alive, and they're like, don't resuscitate him. He signed up for donating his body.
That's what you know. Don't, like, you could be an organ donor. Tell your loved ones, just don't put it on your driver's license because the EMS might not save you.
Yeah. So, fun facts for today.
Jesus, what a weird way to start this episode. Hello, welcome to our comedy podcast. So she said that like everyone got really fucking creeped out at the idea that they were actual real skeletons. Let me skip to this next part because I thought it was so funny. So in Poltergeist 2, there was a Native American actor named Will Sampson. And he performed a fucking exorcism on the set of Poltergeist 2 The Other Side because of the real skeletons in the first movie. He said he went in late on the set by himself at night and performed an actual exorcism, like a Native American exorcism ceremony.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Those skeletons, that was like a Native American burial ground, or
well, I think that was the whole point of the movie, isn't it? That it was a burial ground, and they just moved the headstones and didn't remove the bodies. So that's the premise in the movie. And the cast was like incredibly relieved that he had gone and done that. Okay, so the next part is going to kind of delve into some of the ridiculous shit that has happened to the actors who have partaken in any part of this trilogy. So Poltergeist was actually released June 1982. And in November of that year, 22-year-old Dominique I'm going to say Dunn. Do you know if that's correct? Dominique Dunn, Dunne? Okay, we're just going to call her Dominique. She played Dana, who is the family's older daughter. And she was actually murdered the same year the movie came out.
She's on my list.
You better take her off because I'm about to tell her story.
Hey, do it. Yeah.
So Dominique had all the ingredients necessary to be a Hollywood superstar. She was pretty, she was talented, and she had an enviable resume, and her star was on the rise. She was in roles in films such as The Poltergeist and Diary of a Teenage Hitchhiker. But on October 30th, 1982, she was attacked by her ex-boyfriend and subsequently fell into a coma. In 1981, she met John Thomas Sweeney, who was a chef at an upscale Ma Maison restaurant in Los Angeles, which is actually best known for giving Wolfgang Puck his start in the culinary world. After only a few weeks of dating, she and Sweeney moved in together, and their relationship deteriorated very quickly. He was very jealous and possessive, and he soon began to physically abuse her. After much back and forth, Dominique finally snuck away from her abuser on September 26th of 82 and subsequently ended the relationship.
Okay.
She moved out.
So she tried to get out of it. She was like, This is it. We're done.
This is not good for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she moved out of their shared apartment, and she was staying with her mother until Sweeney moved out. And then she moved back into that apartment and she changed all the locks. And we know just by history proving that that's like the absolute most dangerous point in a domestic violence relationship. It's not in the staying in necessarily, it's in the trying to leave. And unfortunately, that is the truth of her story as well. So October 30th, Dominique was rehearsing for the TV series V with a co-star named David Packer when Sweeney showed up at her door.
Okay.
And according to Packer, he heard a scream, a smack, and a thud. And he tried to call the police, but was informed that her house was outside of their jurisdiction. What the fuck kind of police station is this?
Goodness.
And this is like, we haven't really talked about this too much on our stories, but you find this, these different police institutions, just really, there's no consistency in missing person reports, in jurisdictional lines, in all of it. You can kind of really find a scenario like this and you just feel fucked. Like, what do you call the police? They go, oh, not me, hands in the air, and they just move on.
And that's the catch. They don't even help you. They don't even tell you the right district to call or like what to do. They're just like, not our jurisdiction. That's whatever. Well, like, peace out.
It's the 80s. Did 911 exist in the 80s? It must have.
Yeah.
So why would you call? Existed. Maybe he called like the non-emergency number. I don't know. That just seems. Now that we're talking about it, that seems stupid.
But I mean, that is a thing. Certain towns back then. Yeah. I mean, even technically Long Island, like we just have a lot of different police departments because we have so many different interwebbed towns.
So like right now, I could call 911 and it would get me wherever I needed. But if I call the non-emergency number and I call the Portland police, my house is actually outside of their jurisdiction. I have to call the sheriff's department. You know, so it's like one of those things.
Gotcha. Well, maybe back then, operator-wise, 911 was just routing to whatever.
I mean, they were probably still plugging things into places.
That's exactly. They're like, hold, please.
Packer decided to phone a friend and tell him that if he ended up dead, John Thomas Sweeney was his killer. And he finally went outside to find Sweeney standing over the lifeless body of his girlfriend, Dominique. When the police actually decided to fucking show up and do their jobs, Sweeney just put his hands in the air and claimed that he tried to kill his girlfriend and then himself. He was booked on attempted murder charges, and Dominique was taken to Cedars Sinai Hospital, where she was immediately put on life support, but she never regained consciousness, and she died November 4th, 1982 at 22 years old.
Ugh.
Domestic violence is very scary. But yeah, so, is this part of that curse? Is this part of that shadow that kind of follows everyone who is a part of this film? Other actors, such as Julian Beck, also starred in Poltergeist 2, and he died of stomach cancer at 60. He was diagnosed before he accepted the role, and he passed away in September of 1985, months before the film came out in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And the actor who performed The Exorcism, Will Sampson, in June of 1987, died of malnutrition and post-operative kidney failure at 53.
Oof.
So while the deaths may not seem very unusual, some fans still believe that they're connected to this curse. I mean, these are all very young deaths. And the untimely passing of Poltergeist's iconic young star is perhaps the most convincing case for a curse. Heather O'Rourke was the person who played Carol Ann.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one who had the famous line, "There." And she was incredibly young when she died. She actually died of cardiac arrest and septic shock caused by a misdiagnosed intestinal issue. So in 1987, she became ill with, oh God, they're giving me medical terms. So I'm just going to try and say it, and y'all can go look at the sources.
Good luck. Good luck, y'all.
Giardiasis, which she contracted from well water at her family's home in Big Bear Lake.
Oof.
And she was subsequently diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And Crohn's disease is pretty horrible to just live with. So for a little kid, that's terrible. January 31st, 1988, she began to exhibit flu-like symptoms. And the following morning, she collapsed in her home, and her family rushed her to the local community hospital. En route, she suffered cardiac arrest. So she's a little kid having a heart attack.
That's wild. A little kid having a heart attack. I mean, that's...
Yeah. So paramedics were able to restart her heart, and that was at 9:25 in the morning. And she was subsequently flown to a children's hospital in San Diego, where it was discovered that she had intestinal stenosis, which I had to look up because I'm not a doctor. And that's actually the narrowing of the passage within the small intestine, and it can either completely or significantly impede the passage of food through the digestive tract. Because of that, she needed emergency surgery, and she survived the surgery, but suffered another cardiac arrest while in the recovery room. It's like 2 heart attacks this little girl had. Doctors performed CPR for over 30 minutes, but she was pronounced dead at 2:43 that afternoon. Her cause of death was ruled congenital stenosis of the intestine, complicated by septic shock.
Oh, that is still wild. Like, a child's heart is so tiny, and the fact that they brought her back the first time.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Daniel Hollander was the head of gastroenterology at the University of California Irvine Medical Center, and he stated that her death was distinctly unusual, as she lacked prior symptoms to having any kind of bowel defect. And he said, I would have expected a lot of digestive difficulties throughout her whole life, not just developed a problem all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So, however, he further stated that it was possible for a congenital bowel narrowing to cause sudden death without symptoms if an infection caused the bowel to rupture. It's not necessarily the
odds
case
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they ended up holding a private funeral for O'Rourke on February 5th in LA, and she is entombed at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery. So she died February of 88. She was 12 years old.
Ugh.
Several months before the release of the last movie. So the final chapter came out after she passed away. So scary. So they actually had a picture of her grave marker, and her additional inscription on the bottom says Carol Ann Poltergeist 1, 2, and 3. I was like,
No, don't put that on there. I'm not taking that to the grave. No, no, no.
Yeah, like she was a
No, that's
sweet,
a
loving
lasting
girl. Can we put
impression.
that?
Yeah.
Not that she was there. They might as well have just put there here at the bottom of her
Yeah,
headstone.
no, no, no.
Richard Lawson is another actor who was a part of this trilogy, and he was aboard a U.S. Air Flight 405. Do you know about this?
No.
Okay. Well,
Actually, yes. Okay. I'm somewhat familiar with this potential incident.
Well, that flight crashed into Flushing Bay in March of 1992. So it was a Cleveland bound flight. It skidded off the runway in a gust of snow and exploded just after 9:30 p.m.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
At
At LaGuardia Airport. This is at LaGuardia Airport. I just flew into and out of LaGuardia Airport like a week ago.
I mean, for those of you who don't know, LaGuardia Airport, that's a very short runway and it's right off the water. So if the moment, let alone if you're going to skid off that shit, you're going straight into the water.
And it was runway number 13.
Oh,
I mean, people are very superstitious. You ever go in an elevator, you notice there's no like 13th floor. They just skip that one. Why would you have a 13th runway? I mean, someone was a little cocky and they were like, nah, it's not real.
They were like, that doesn't apply to flying. That's what. Oh my gosh. See, here's again, this first film, you're in there day in and day out with all of those skeletons and all of those things. For argument's sakes, let's say there was no supernatural activity there. But the moment you start filming there and you're reveling in that shit, stuff is going to happen.
Asking for like this.
100%.
I 1,000% believe in manifesting things in the universe. Okay. So when you are creating something like the Poltergeist, you are bringing in and opening the doors to that actual experience. I mean, I believe in spirits and all that stuff. I'm a spiritual person in my own right. I don't believe in institutionalized religion. So whatever it is, you're opening the gates, the floodgates, when you create something like this. And yeah, I mean, it can just follow you through all the actions in your life. There's a lot of people. What other movie can you name me that has this many people who are already dead that young or experience these horrific things? This is like Final Destination, Poltergeist style.
But that's exactly what it is. And that's what I was thinking after the runway thing. I was like, someone in the cast after that had to been like, there is something coming after us. And it's going through each cast member. The Beast. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Like, whose turn is it now? I don't know, man. First off, I will just say, like, when it comes to ghosts and things like that, supernatural, I believe in that shit. I've had my own incident.
Me too.
And coincidentally enough, like my incident dealt in an area where it was practically a Native American burial ground. Like spiritually, that stuff. Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Well, guess what, Justin? You opened the fucking floodgates.
No. See, the incidents that I was dealing with,
just tell us the story.
I acknowledged it. Okay, it's story time. So long ago, I was in Ohio doing an outdoor theater show, which dealt with Native American things. But, traditionally, things always happen there. Like opening nights always rains, even if the forecast is clear, whatever. That's not the issue. Housing. You get your own housing there. Like you got to try to rent your own house. Me and my best friend at the time, who I helped get the job there, Domingo, just throw names out there. You know who it was. We rented. It was like a 1-bedroom, fully furnished for like $500. Technically, it was like 2 bedrooms because the closet was the size of whatever.
Oh my God. One of you lived in the other's closet?
He chose to live in like that living room closet, like it was like a Harry Potter style thing, and I didn't get that back then because I didn't watch Harry Potter. But I actually lived in the bedroom, but like he had the closet in the whole living room. And we rented this place back in the day. This was like 2009 or 2010, people, and we rented this whole thing. It was only $500 a month, so we were paying like $250 each. And it had like full dining room kitchen. Yeah, we did get what we. So we fucking go. We live here, in like 2 weeks in. I don't know. Little things started to happen. Like, for argument's sake, like, I don't know, I'm very particular. I set my chapstick and things like on a dresser. My chapstick disappears. I never
Hold, please.
figure out where it goes.
Do you have a thing about chapstick?
Well, not just about I'm just saying organizing stuff. Like, I just set something on a dresser. Well, no, I organized my loose change because back then cash was,
Fair enough.
So, no, and I mean, I technically don't organize, but I take the change. You come home. Maybe it's a guy thing. I don't know. Maybe
pocket,
Mike can back me up.
Probably. Yeah.
You come home from a long day or whatever the hell you're doing, and I just dump all this change on top of a dresser, put my chapstick, my keys there, whatever. My chapstick at first disappeared, and then it would like end up in my shoe. Like, I would go put my shoes on later, and it's in my shoe. But the thing is, my shoes are nowhere near the dresser.
Oh.
My shoes are sometimes in a separate fucking room. So that started to happen. Whatever. I didn't think anything of it. Because I didn't think anything of it, what started to happen after that is I would come home and like the random loose change I'm putting on top of the dresser, it was now organized. Like, it was physically organized. It was in vertical rows, like pennies, dimes, quarters, things like that. I
flat
don't
on
do
the
that.
Surface?
It's flat on the surface. This is no exaggeration. It's all just organized. So I go to Domingo.
My
I'm like,
light
hey.
just flickered.
I go to Domingo. I'm like, did you? And you guys don't know me and my best friend, but we're like the odd couple. We just argue all the time. Literally,
yeah.
we are the odd couple. So I was like, yo, did you like organize my change? And he's like, why the hell would I go in your room and organize your change?
I don't see Domingo being the one who is the neat freak.
He's definitely not. Well, yeah, but so he just thought I was crazy. This continued to happen every single day. Then like my TV would start to randomly turn on, or like we would hear the bathtub running, even though, well, I would hear it, even though I didn't turn it on. It was on. Sometimes Domingo's in the house, sometimes he's not. Long story short, I kept telling him that things kept happening, and he kept telling me that I was just being stupid or crazy or whatever the case may be. And what finally sealed the deal for him, these things kept happening to me, and they kept progressing at such a fast rate. Like, nothing harmful happened to me because I was acknowledging the bullshit that was happening.
Fair. But
we kept arguing one day in the kitchen. I was like, yo, this place is definitely haunted, and you have to acknowledge like all the stuff that's starting to happen here. We argue. The cupboards in the kitchen, no exaggeration. And I don't mean like they slowly came open. They physically exploded open to the impact where they slammed into one another.
No.
The top set of the cupboards in the kitchen all explode in the middle of this arguing.
How many doors? Like how?
That was like 8.
Oh my God.
They all exploded with such force. No, it like literally something just turned it, smacked it. They all smash into each other.
Oh my
and then
God.
I will never forget this to this day. That happened. Literally just stood there. He was sitting in a chair. We both didn't say anything for a second. And I go, now do you fucking understand? And he goes, no, listen. He goes, I don't understand shit. If I don't acknowledge nothing, nothing happens. And then things got, after that, it took a turn for him. Like, one day we were getting in the car for rehearsal. We were in the car. He had to go inside to get his wallet. He comes running out that house so fast and just hops in the car, hits the gas. I thought he was going to back the car into the house. I was like, what happened in there? Why are you running? He's like, I went up there to get my wallet. As it was coming down the stairs, I heard something thrown against the wall. It sounded like it shattered and someone was yelling. And I'm like, what? So it got to the point where now living in this haunted house, we've come to terms with it in our own ways.
I would not be able to live there.
It was already too late. I was there for like a month and a half by this time out of the 3 months that I had to live there. And I mean, again, like I considered it like a granny ghost. It's just organizing my change. It's misplacing a couple things.
You got the nice ghost.
I got the nice ghost. He's over here fucking not acknowledging things physically happening right in his presence. And I think it made it angrier.
And just for a reference point, Domingo's got to fess up to this, but that man doesn't do anything fast.
No, it doesn't. So the fact that he came running down the steps hitting gas pedals, it was like, what the fuck?
He is a turtle of a person. He just, everything he does, he's just chill. He's moving along, getting there when he gets there. I've done my own shows with Domingo. So yes.
Yeah. It's bad. And like,
oh my God,
what
that's
happened
so
is
funny.
because the couple that rented us this place, you know, they would always check in on us. And I thought they were genuinely just nice people. You know, they invited us to their real homes on the weekends, and like they'd make food, things like that. They would just talk about the show, talk about regular life.
Were they involved in the show?
No, they were not. No, they lived in a separate town. They just kept this house. They rented it out. It used to be rented to their son, and they said that, you know, their son had moved out. They never gave a reason on that. So like, we're now putting all these things together. So we had to call them. And eventually we asked them to come when they collect their rent. We're like, can we have a meeting with you guys? And legitimately, they're like, how's everything going? I'm like, we want to talk to you about that. And I'm just leading this conversation because Domingo's not the type to lead it. I was just like, there have been things that we've noticed that's been happening here.
You're like, oh, Charlie?
Because the house is like 2 miles away from an infamous Indian burial site / museum too, so it's a whole thing. But I was just like, things are happening. Do you guys know what's going on? And I explained to them, and they're like, oh, well, maybe you were tired and you rearranged the change yourself.
No.
Or maybe you rolled on a remote. I'm like, the remote is physically nowhere near me when that TV's cutting on by itself.
Hold on a second. They tried to convince you.
They tried to gaslight me. This old couple tried to gaslight me, and then Domingo just fucking gets upset, and he's like, "Is the house haunted?" And yo,
Domingo sitting in the back, not saying one fucking word until it's that.
He goes, "Is the house haunted? Yes or no?" And no joke, the husband just looks at the wife. Husband says nothing. And she does like this half-ass chuckle. She's like, haunted? Why would you think that? And we're like, this fucking house is haunted. So shit kept happening. And then one day I left Domingo by himself. I came back that night and he was like, never leave me in this house again. Like, he claims he went to make something. He put something in the microwave, and he keeps like the salt shakers and things on top of the microwave. He claims he was in the house by himself. He heard some stuff. He wasn't paying attention. He went to heat something up, and he claims the salt shaker flew into his face, not fell, because we're height level to the microwave, the where it's placed at. He's saying the shit flew off and it hit him in the face. Like, Lisa's dying over here. I can't wait for you guys to see this on Patreon. But all of this is true. This man got hit in the face by a salt shaker. Like, it flew into his face. He freaked the fuck out so badly that he went back to the living room and he like curled up in his gaming chair, and he turns he had on all the lights, he had on music, he had the game on, and when I got back there, he's literally just like staying in this spot going, don't ever leave me in this house again. He goes, I cannot stay in this house by myself ever again. And he explains the story. And then for the last month that we were out there, he always kept somebody in the house. If I was not there, or if I was at rehearsal, or if I was in the show and he already went home, he always physically had other people in the house.
Oh my God.
Because when other people were in the house, apparently nothing happened to him.
Oh my God, I just died. So
that's my story. I'm sorry we kind of segued into your thing, but Native American stuff and burial grounds and spirits, we don't fuck with that.
Oh
I don't fuck with that.
I'm so sorry. I need to blow my nose.
I can't do it. And you know, we did like Christmas in July, and one of my castmates, he's one of the locals, and he is also Native American. He handmade me this beautiful fucking dream catcher.
And you're like,
and you know,
shut up.
Well, yeah, I mean, I put it up again. Nothing happened to me, but the thing is, like, when I was leaving that place, and if you ever listen to this, James so and so, I am so sorry. But yeah, I had to throw it out because
you can't bring the bad juju with you wherever you go.
You can't bring it with you. And I was already in semi good graces with this ghost. I'm like, it's not going to follow me. But
oh my God, how have I never heard that story before? That's so fucking funny.
I feel like you might have heard glimpses of it, but I talk about it so much. Nah, it's a legit thing. And for those of you who don't believe me, I know for a fact, like, some of my former castmates, I'm still really good friends with them. they listen to this podcast, and no joke, some of them have been like, I'm waiting, because they're like, you always mention like this particular show we did, things like that.
So
They're like,
funny.
I'm waiting for you to bring this up. And I'm like, someday, somehow it will get in here. I
feel
promise.
like all the times that you've brought up anything about a production you've been a part of, it's always been this one.
It has. Well, I love that production, but on the flip side, a lot of things just happen there. But yeah, the place was fucking haunted.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
I had an old couple gaslight me.
You sure did.
Whatever. I mean, Domingo fucking he got what he deserved.
He did. He gaslit that ghost.
Gaslit that ghost. He got what he fucking deserved.
Oh my God.
Just acknowledge the shit's real, man. It happens. But
that's so funny.
There we go. So
that
yeah, something
so
attached to all of them.
People who know Domingo. Oh boy. Okay, so let me get back to my story here.
Sorry.
No, that's fine. It was fantastic. That was so worth it. Oh, okay. So, plane crashes in LaGuardia.
Oh God! What a way to go back to.
It's not getting better, folks. So,
no.
The plane exploded, 9:30 p.m., March of 1992, and rescuers halted an active search for survivors early the next morning after 27 passengers and rescue workers were taken by ambulance to area hospitals. They spread them out everywhere because there were so many people. 7 people on the flight were unaccounted for, and at least 12 rescue workers were injured, but none were critically injured. The crash occurred after the pilot apparently attempted to abort takeoff, and a total of 27 people out of 51 on board were killed. And Lawson survived, but the event is yet another reason that people claim that this movie is fucking cursed.
That's wild. He survived.
He survived, yeah.
Oh.
No one. Oh, I mean, everyone's got PTSD. Everyone.
Oh yeah, hands down. Yeah.
And in 2009, a second cast member was fucking murdered. Lou Perryman played a small. I'm dying from laughing so hard. I'm just. Oh my God. Okay, Lou Perryman played a small role, the role of Pugsley in the original film.
Okay.
But he's best known for his work in films like The Blues Brothers, Boys Don't Cry, and The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And,
okay, I know who you're talking about now.
I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is actually his most well known. So an ex-con with a history of mental health and drug abuse problems was sentenced to life in prison after he pled guilty in the murdering of Austin actor Louis Byron Perryman. The murderer was 28-year-old Seth Christopher Tatum, and authorities said that Tatum came upon Perryman's house in South Austin, Texas, by chance. After he had attacked his own mother's ex-boyfriend with garden shears and an iron fireplace poker.
Oh my God. Okay.
So
overkill.
A lot. Yeah, definitely a lot. So that was April 1st, 2009. Tatum told the police that he killed Perryman for his car. And the prosecutor, Judy Shipway, said Perryman was found later that day by police in his home. So Tatum told the police, he went to the police station and turned himself in, essentially, and said that he attempted to befriend Perryman to steal his car. And they spoke for a bit in the yard before Perryman went inside his house. And he was sitting at a desk using his computer when Tatum just came through the front door and struck him with an axe 10 times, mostly in the head.
He just walked
Axed the
in
fuck
there.
out of him. Yep. Yeah, he was like, "Hey, buddy, how are you? You're cool." And then he was like, "Yeah, stranger, I'll see you later." He went in his home, and this dude walked through the front door with an axe and killed him in the head with an axe.
For someone who didn't watch Shining or read Shining, that's a very Shining fucking incident that just happened. He just walked in there with an axe and was like, "I gotta kill this man."
Yes.
Okay.
Oh God. So Tatum fled. He killed Lou Perryman for a 1994 Geo. This is not like this motherfucker was getting like a Camaro or something, a Mustang, a Corvette, some fast car, a Geo. Those things were like hot pink and horrible, little mini trucks. So he said he told the police that he spent the night at a park. And the next day he parked Perryman's car near the Blackwell Thurman criminal justice center and told the sheriff's deputy he had stolen the car and he think he killed the man who owned it.
Oh my goodness. I think I killed the man who owned this car. Like, just like that. Like,
you axed him in the head 10 times.
You axed him.
Not sure?
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're pretty sure, but I don't know.
So Lou Perryman was 67 years old when he was murdered.
Oh my God.
So that's the murder of 2 cast members, the death of 3, and the near death of 1. What do you think? Do you think it's curse? Do you think it's just a series of horrible things?
No, I think it's most certainly fucking cursed.
I agree. My dear listeners, if you want to go on our socials and let us know what you think, are all of these horrible things just like a terrible series of events? Or does this fall under some kind of weird Final Destination bullshit that the beast is coming out and trying to take everybody out?
Yeah, you guys need to let us know. Let us know your thoughts on that. Also, if you have any random ghost stories now
Halloween,
that
let me hear it.
I've bared my soul and, again, me and that ghost, Granny Ghost, as I refer to, we're cool. So me talking about this,
she's not coming to your house.
Follow you. Yeah. She's not coming to me, but
I'll tell you my own. I have my own personal experiences with ghosts. But I'll tell you one that actually only happened to just me. So I understand Domingo's fear. I had a very different reaction than Domingo did, though. So when I was a teenager, I moved in with my dad and my stepmom and my stepmom's 3 kids. And the house that they bought, I mean, I didn't know anyone who lived there. Like I was being shipped back to my old school or whatever every day. Yeah. It's like 30 minutes away. I didn't go to school in that town yet. And so I didn't know anybody. And it was the middle of the summer. And I was in the house by myself, oddly, which never happened because there's 5,000 fucking people who live there. And in the kitchen, I sat at you've been to this house many times, Justin. You sat at my kitchen table and you're looking at a doorway that goes down to the basement. And if you go around the corner, you're looking at the front door and then the stairs to go upstairs. And I was sitting at that kitchen table by myself and that basement door, like you said, exploded. That bitch swung the fuck open, hit the wall.
Oh, thank you.
Hit the wall. And then it almost looked like TV static. Like gray and fuzzy, tall, skinny man, but only not like an apparition, came running up the fucking stairs and ran down the hallway by the front door. And I was like, no. And I just got up and walked outside and I just stayed outside until someone else came home. Like,
that is scary as fuck. Yeah. And I'm over here really processing. You never fucking told me this. And like you said, I've been to your house a lot.
Block that shit out. Blocked it out. So wait, here's the rest of the story.
Oh no.
So
oh no.
I start going to school there in the fall and I become friends with a girl who lived like 3 or 4 houses down. And the house she lived in used to be her grandmother's house. So she's been like going to this block her whole life. And she told me that a young man took his own life in that house and that it was back in like the 70s. He was gay. He was coming out as gay or whatever. And there was obviously a bad reaction to it. And he ended up taking his life in the house, in my stepbrother's room.
Oh no.
Yeah. Which is across the hallway from my room upstairs. That's all there is up there. So, yeah. So that's who I believed was the ghost who was zipping around the house, was this young man. But yeah, fuck that. Fuck ghosts. Can't handle it.
Nope. I'm good. Yep. I'm good on that. No, thank you.
Yep.
But if y'all got ghost stories, please let us know.
Oh yeah. Let us hear it. I love hearing other people's ghost stories. I just don't want to live any more of my own. I've had quite a few. Okay. What do you have, buddy?
All right. Well, what I got today, it almost sent me down a rabbit hole the way you did, the way you grouped all those poltergeist incidences together. I was looking at a particular person within Power Rangers. We're going to get to that in a second. I was looking at one particular person, and then I started to notice this pattern where other people that played basically the same role or the same color as he did started falling into some crazy shit too.
The same color Power Ranger. I didn't
bring it together. Same color Power Ranger.
Okay.
We're gonna get into right now. Power Rangers. First off, Lisa, everybody's got a favorite Power Ranger series and or Power Ranger. You got one?
Yeah, the original and Kimberly. I was the fucking Pink Ranger everywhere when I was a kid.
Okay. All right. Yes,
but then I always had the crush on the heartthrob. So whatever, it was the green one, it was the red one, it was the white one, it was the black one.
Yeah. So yeah, back in the day, obviously, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. To this day, that's still my most favorite Power Ranger series. I know people will debate it
because that was our whole childhood.
That was our whole childhood, but apparently later on, Power Rangers got a lot darker and cool, crazier. Like some of our friends still watch Power Rangers. Shout out to Adrian. I know you're always listening to this podcast.
Adrian, why are you watching? You're 30-something years old, my bro.
Hey, there's nothing. Listen.
All right, I'm just not a person who watches cartoons. I watch shitty reality TV, so I should just shut up.
Yes, that's correct. Lisa doesn't do cartoons and she doesn't do anime. And I'm always trying to explain to her, I'm like, anime is what you would be into because it's just Japanese animation, but it's adult themes. Like,
nope.
But yeah, Power Rangers. So yours was Mighty Morphin and Kimberly. My favorite one was Mighty Morphin. And I was always, you
were Jason. Again, you liked the Jason.
Well, no, I mean, Jason was cool as fuck, and how he got usurped by Tommy, that's a whole other story. But I was always Blue Ranger, like I was Billy, like I wanted to be Billy, like I loved the Blue Ranger. Triceratops used to be one of my favorite dinosaurs. Whatever,
you're adorable.
Like, it is what it is. I just wanted to be like Billy. So that was mine. But yes, Power Rangers. The shit has been around for over 30 years. There's several different series.
So I actually watched that Power Rangers movie that you put up on the Plex a million years ago.
Oh, the reboot. I really liked the reboot.
I did too. And what's his face is in it?
Yeah, Billy.
Yeah, Billy. That's why I'm like, where is this all circling around? Billy from Stranger Things. What's his name?
Dakar Montgomery or something.
Cool name, and
I don't know how to pronounce it.
But yeah, he was really good in that movie. I liked it.
The whole movie was great, and now it's getting like rebooted
too,
again,
right? Like a different start to the Power Rangers than what you see in the other series.
Also, Bryan Cranston was Zordon. That was kind of crazy.
Yes. Oh my god, I forgot.
And he was kind of a dick, but that's like. There's been so many series throughout the years, and diehard Power Ranger fans, they'll always mention specific series. Like they'll mention Mighty Morphin. Some might mention Zeo. One of them that they tend to bring up a lot, and it's one that I never watched, was Power Rangers Wild Force. That's apparently a very popular one. It got better fight scenes, heavier action, better scripts, more adult themed, even though it was for kids. But I'm actually going to talk about today one of the actors from there. His name is Ricardo Medina Jr., and he played Cole Evans, the Red Power Ranger for Wild Force. He became, the name alone just is whatever, but he got Cole so
Evans?
popular.
Is that what you mean?
Cole Evans, yeah.
Cole Evans. They always give them the most ridiculous names.
And this guy's personality, you could tell he might have been a handful on set, but he was so popular in that series that when that series ended, they were like, we're going to bring you back, except we're not going to bring you back as the Red Ranger anymore. We're going to bring you back as technically the villain for another one of the Power Rangers series, which was Power Ranger Samurai.
Was he like a defunct Power Ranger? Or he was just a whole new character?
No, he was a whole new character. And truth be told, from what I've seen in interviews and things like that, it didn't seem like he was acting as much in that. That seemed like that was more of his personality. He seemed to be a dick, but he seemed to be a little full of himself. But yeah, we're gonna talk about him for a second. I'm not gonna get into what he just did yet, but I'll give you a little more of the background. So Ricardo Medina Jr. was born January 24th, 1979 in Kern County, California, to like a hardworking middle class family of Puerto Rican descent. So he was born in a small town called Delano, California, but was raised in Downey, California, which is like southeast Los Angeles.
Okay.
Throughout much of his young life, he was very involved with sports and athletics. He played football in middle school and high school, while also spending some time like messing around with wrestling, martial arts, and street hockey. So like he was always a very athletic dude and very physical. which the later Power Ranger shows, as you know, they really required that. Almost everybody was a martial artist or a gymnast or something along those lines. So from a young age, he also developed the love for performing arts, which translated into his whole acting career once he got older. From the age of 7, he found a passion for singing, which he continued to pursue on the side while he was working on his acting career.
Is he any good?
He's decent.
Okay.
Ironically, the whole main reason he wanted to start acting in the first place was because he wanted to use his fame. Yeah, to become. He wanted to use his fame. I was literally going to get into that. He wanted to use his fame so he could sing, but also he claimed, use the fame to become a positive role model for others and make a difference in the world. So,
yeah, everybody says that.
Yeah, exactly. Lisa and I are rolling our eyes because, again, some people genuinely mean shit when they say that.
He doesn't sound like he's one of them.
In the acting world, fellow performers, you can all attest. Some of us mean it. Some of us are just saying it as this fucking masturbatory thing. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
They're just like, I just want to become famous so I can change the world.
Yeah, I just want to save everyone. But it's mostly about me saving everyone.
It's me saving them. I have to be the one. Right. Yeah. So, we can't wait to hear people's responses on that. They're gonna be like, "How dare you?"
Well, if you're the one saying "How dare you," you're probably the fucking one.
Exactly.
Just letting you know. If you don't know, now you know.
Now you know. So he also had a hobby of collecting toys. He collected a lot of Transformers, Voltrons, wrestling figures, stuff like that. He was able to finally break into TV when he got his first big break, and that notable role was Cole Evans, who was the Red Power Ranger on the TV series Power Rangers Wild Force, which, for the record, if you can become a fucking Power Ranger, you guys have no idea how much that takes. Once upon a time. Huh?
Didn't you audition for a Power Ranger thing?
I did.
I remember. Didn't I help you?
Long time ago. You did help me film some of my callbacks, and then I had to go to LA, and then that turned. Yeah. So yeah, for those who don't know,
a Power Ranger. He's the
I was almost a Power Ranger
that I ever met.
once upon a time, I was almost a Power Ranger. I think I disabled that video a couple years ago because my shit leaked out, some of my callbacks, and people kept messaging me every year. They're like, "Can you give me some tips on a thing?" Blah blah. But yeah. Once upon a time, I was so close to being a Power Ranger, and it was gonna be for the 20th season, and Yeah. Ironically enough, when you go into the auditions and callbacks, you always have to explain stuff. And I explained my passion for blue and all these other things. But yes, it's hard as fuck to become a Power Ranger. And this guy was very athletic, all these things. He finally managed to get in there. And not only was he a Power Ranger, but he was he turned into one of the Power Rangers. Like I said, Cole Evans was a very popular character. He was the Red Ranger. The show first aired in February of 2022. I'm sorry, 2002 on
it's a whole
Fox
difference.
Kids. Yeah, it's a whole difference. This this stuff just happened yesterday.
Right. This happened just now, as we're speaking.
Just now, I'm seeing the future.
Right, yeah, perfect.
But yeah, 2002, it aired on Fox Kids TV block before it was moved to ABC's new morning block because remember the creators of Power Rangers, they struck a deal with Disney, which in turn was ABC, hence why it left the Fox network. And all Power Ranger shows now predominantly air on Disney first. Plus? I don't know if you know that. No, not even Disney Plus, regular Disney Channel. It's been that way for over a decade.
I mean, for as much as my son watches TV, he doesn't watch regular TV ever. He doesn't have that life. We stream everything. It's so weird. No, he watches TV. Don't get me wrong. I'm no anti-screen mom at all, but the idea of Saturday morning blocks is
that's
just
non-existent
now. Yeah, we're just what do you want to watch? Blaze, cool. Here you go. Let's put Blaze on. Paw Patrol, sweet. Yeah, so it's easier to be a parent now than it was when we were kids.
I believe it. You're just here you go. Yeah. Access to all these shows.
Yep.
But yeah, it was moved to ABC's new morning block on Saturday in the fall of 2002. And then he was able to appear in 40 episodes, basically, as that Red Ranger. Yeah. Because later on, the Power Ranger format, me and you, Mighty Morphin, we got 3 solid seasons of that before it became something else. Nowadays, these Power Ranger shows, most of them are only like a season, maybe two max. And that's the thing. This was just one of those. They churned it out and bam.
Are the episodes still like a half an hour or are they longer?
Oh, no, they're still a half an hour.
Okay.
They're still a half an hour. And every season is a different theme. But sometimes every now and again, the show will redo its whole format. Again, I didn't see Wild Force, but from what I hear from everyone else, that was one of those shows. They're like, oh, it upped the ante. It was just super dark, blah, blah, blah. Years following his appearance on Wild Force, though, he was able to like land series of small roles basically on TV shows and movies over the next few years. Some of those shows that he appeared on included CSI Miami, ER, Confessions of a Pit Fighter, and then ultimately Saban and them, the producers of Power Rangers, they brought him back for Power Rangers Samurai, where he played one of the main villains named Decker.
It's a good villain name.
It's a good villain name, and it's called Power Rangers Samurai. So there was a lot of fucking sword fighting in this. He also appeared as a contestant on the game show Kept, which was about Mick Jagger's ex-wife, Jerry Hall, and her search for a kept man, aka Gigolo. Although, this was a real
reality
show.
TV game.
It was a reality show. It was a reality show.
Okay,
it's called Kept.
Hold on. It's Mick Jagger's ex-wife. Is that what
she's free from him, and she was just looking for like
weird fucking concept.
It was weird as fuck. And again, this dude, if you ever look him up later, which I'm sure you will,
hold on,
you're gonna look him up and you're gonna be like, you're gonna be like, yeah, I could see him on that show.
Tell me his name again. Ricardo.
It's Medina Jr. He's a good-looking guy, but again, the arrogance.
That's not at all what I pictured him like in my head. I think that I have an image already of Ricardo's back here somewhere.
Well, yeah,
it wasn't.
But this Ricardo, his picture still has the long hair, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Here you go. Oh, you can't see it.
I can't see it because you're right.
There he is.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah.
There he is. Everybody on the Patreon. It's so funny that he looks like he's standing in my room.
It looks like he's floating. That's great.
Okay,
that's great.
So he's got some very. Hello. Look at that one.
That's what I know him in from the clips of Decker and all of that. Like I said, So
I look too far. Yeah, I've seen things.
Okay, I've seen things. All right, stop seeing things.
Stop seeing things.
Here's the neuralizer. But yeah. So exactly, he was a good looking dude, very physical dude. I get the casting on that.
Oh yeah, me too. He looks exactly like all of the whatever Hot Ranger always had long hair and pretty eyes, white boy looking most of the time.
Right. See, they got a little more diverse later on.
Good.
But yeah, after all of that, like I said, he was on that reality show, which you got to look into later because that's funny as fuck.
Which also makes sense with the long hair and the Mick Jagger.
See, now you saw the look. He looked like he could be a gigolo. So, although most of those TV roles that he landed were usually only for an episode, he was still able to book them every now and again, like on TV and in movies during the mid 2000s, early 2010s. What a crazy time to be alive where I'm like early 2010s. Like we're now naming decades.
We're old, Justin.
I know.
It's not a time to be alive. It's just we've been alive for a long time. Really tense.
My goodness. So now my story begins.
Okay.
On February 1st, 2015, Medina was arrested.
Okay.
He was arrested for stabbing, allegedly. So it seems he was arrested for stabbing his 38-year-old roommate, Joshua Sutter, in their shared home the day before on January 31st in Green Valley, which is in the Los Angeles County.
Did he do it like seppuku with a fucking sword? Like a samurai? Shut up, look at your face. Go on the Patreon and watch this because Justin's face says a million things. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to shut up and let you tell the story.
He stabbed him multiple times in the abdomen using a medieval, some say it was a medieval replica, but it was an actual sword of like Conan the Barbarian sword, which if you've ever seen that movie is a pretty big ass sword. He stabbed them multiple times in the abdomen with that sword that he kept at their place.
What?
After the stabbing occurred, Medina called for medical attention, but Sutter was pronounced dead on arrival once they made it to the hospital. He was held on bail for $1 million, but was released just a few days later on February 3rd because there was no charges at the time filed against him from the district attorney as a result of some request for further investigation of the crime. So here we go, folks.
That's really weird that you would arrest him, but then not file charges and release him?
For now, because they wanted to investigate, and I'm going to get into why they decided that there needed to be an investigation.
Did they think it could have been like self-defense?
We're getting there. We'll find out.
I'll stop asking questions.
We're going to see. No, I love it. I love it. Because, it's crazy. As people are listening to this, I know even when I listen to other type of podcasts, when people are having dialogues like this, I'm already asking those questions in my head. So when I hear the host do it, it's like, yeah, I'm on track. Yeah. So, they wanted to postpone that so they can do further investigation of the crime. And Medina had only stayed at the residence for around 2 months before the incident happened.
Ooh.
He claims that he stabbed Sutter in self-defense after they had gotten into an argument over Medina's girlfriend, who was staying at the home too.
Okay.
During their argument, they began to get what he claimed as physical altercation, which then prompted Medina and his girlfriend to lock themselves in his room. His roommate.
Okay, wait, hold on. Let me make sure I'm tracking. So the roommate,
Ricardo. Yeah.
The roommate was threatening Medina and his girlfriend, so they locked themselves in the room.
That's what Medina's claiming.
Okay,
right
can
now.
we just hold on 1 second? I just need to. Conan the Barbarian. Ooh.
It's a very big sword. It's a very big sword.
Oh.
It's like. And at first, some people speculated like it was a samurai sword that he was rocking because of Power Rangers.
For everyone on the Patreon,
I can't see it. No, wait, it blurred for a second.
I don't know that I'm going to be able to get it to work. It's too thin.
Yeah, I don't. Oh wait! It was there for a second.
Wait, hold on. Let's try a different image. Okay.
There's different versions because they rebooted that movie like with Jason Momoa. It's just showing his hands, not the sword. That's hysterical. But yeah,
okay, so this is like almost like a broadsword.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
very large to be stabbed with. The amount of force it takes to stab someone with that is probably pretty ridiculous.
Strength. Like,
yeah. Wow.
But again, because like at first reports were like, it's a samurai blade. Then later on, they were like, no, this shit. And they keep referencing it as like the Conan the Barbarian sword. So it's something similar to that. Or for those who haven't seen Conan the Barbarian, it's okay. But I know that most of the world, y'all watch Stranger Things. So that sword that Hopper randomly had, did you watch Stranger Things yet? Yeah, that sword that he used that was a Conan the Barbarian-esque sword too. Yep. So picture that sword being used to stab someone multiple times.
It's huge. It's humongous. It's not like a fucking knife.
You got to really wield
probably
that shit.
Probably a 3 or 4 inch area that you have to. Yeah.
Ugh. So yeah. Medina got into the argument with his roommate. He then says they got physical. He then says he had to lock himself and his girlfriend in their room. And now what's happening is that, excuse me, once they locked themselves in a room, Sutter then apparently forced his way into Medina's room where they continued to scuffle, which led Medina to eventually stabbing Sutter to death.
With his own Conan the Barbarian replica sword.
It was Ricardo's sword.
Right.
Yeah. With it. Yeah. So again, there's just a lot.
This is a very self-serving story.
It's very self-serving. But on the flip side of that too, now you can see why officers were probably like, let's do further investigation. Because truth be told, when I first heard the story a couple of years ago that this motherfucker stabbed his roommate, first thing I think of all the time in scenarios like that, drugs.
Okay.
I'm like somebody was really fucking high, because if this is a life or death thing and I'm getting into a fight with you, like I'm going to use whatever's near me to defend myself. There's exceptions to that rule though.
Probably a Conan the Barbarian sword.
Yeah. There's no way you're going to have time to You fucking break into my house, my room with my girl there, and we continued the fist fighting. I don't have time to walk over to a wall where most swords normally are. That sword is heavy as fuck. It's a two-handed blade. He cannot hold it as one hand and stab a person physically with
then,
it.
Hold on. Usually, if you're in a scuffle, right? This is like person to person. You're hand to hand. You're very close.
Exactly.
So the act of actually stabbing someone is like, how do you even do that?
And that sword is of great width. So it's like, argument's sake, let's say you somehow went to the wall and you're grabbing that. By the time you try to pull that down and with the scuffle, you fuck around and swing. You could probably hit your girl, hit yourself. Like, it's just
stuck in the wall.
For me, things aren't adding up. And I can see why they wanted to investigate further. So that went down. And I'm just trying to picture it because with that blade, it's two-handed. What, let's say he was running into you again, you finally managed to pick up the sword and you're like, but you did it multiple times. Like, I just picture someone running into it. Like, I don't know. When you're wielding a sword, you like to go hard and scream and shit. I don't know. We were in college, folks, and like,
okay,
we had a stage combat. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Justin was already gone, but we were in college with a bunch of theater kids. And if you know anything about theater kids, the perfect example that I can give you to imagine walking into a scenario is that you're going to do a fundraiser and you drive into the parking lot of the location you're going to do the fundraiser. And there's some weird fucking theater kids in the parking lot. Here's the picture for you, okay? It's a church that we're doing this in. One of them's in very Jack Skellington like pants, so they're like black and white stripes, like thick, and then the other one has like a weird hat on, and they're just broadsword fighting in daylight in the middle of the parking lot of a church. And it wasn't weird for me.
See, yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, like, back in our day, our theater department, we had like stage combat and advanced stage combat as well. The advanced stage combat was more like independent study, and my first semester or two there, my first year there, I was a part of that, and it's only like 3 or 4 of us. So like, talking about this story now, I have experience with broadswords because the first show that I was in college too, there was a whole battle. Like, we had a big ass choreographed battle using broadswords. Yeah. And I was also understudying for like one of the main guys who had the thing. So like, all day, every day, it's like the first 2 hours of a 4-hour rehearsal. It's like doing the choreography, working on these blades. Swords of that caliber, Conan style, the tip might be sharp, but the main purpose of those type of weapons is to be used as a bludgeoning tool. Mm-hmm. Like back in the day, broadswords, you see in some movies like they're piercing through armor, but not necessarily. You were literally just bludgeoning, beating someone to death with that shit.
Yeah.
So the fact that he had time to take this sword and stab someone multiple times with it, I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
I don't know how he did break his arm in the process, but all of this went down. It wasn't until the following year in January 14th, 2016, that Medina was taken into police custody again and then arrested on murder charges that were tied to Sutter's murder. Okay,
so when did the murder happen?
The murder happened back in 2015. It happened February 1st, 2015. I'm sorry, January 31st on 2015 it happened, and February 1st, a year later. Yeah.
Wow. Yep. Okay.
So they really had to do some, because I'm sure things weren't adding up for them as well.
Yeah.
And I still think some of the key details are missing. I feel like, first off, for your roommate to be arguing with you to the point where things got physical, that alone tells me, again, I'm no forensics, I'm none of that. Just don't do crime, folks. But what that's all telling me, though, is if your roommate's coming in to the point where they're now trying to break down your door and fight you,
why?
All of that's telling me this is a built-up animosity.
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff that has already been going down with you guys. This person's not taking it anymore. For all I know, they might have been drunk or something. But the fact of the matter is, what you did what you did with the sword.
Right. So this didn't escalate out of nowhere. This has been something that's been coming probably for a while. I feel like
it was something that's been coming for a long fucking
necessarily.
Time. Yeah, definitely not. I feel like it was something that was happening for a long time.
Okay.
And it just sucks because this person's dead. We can't hear their side of the story.
Right.
And it's only Medina's side and his girlfriend's side who probably witnessed the murder and now is just going to say what she needs to say. So she's not in trouble,
right.
So, because that's the thing. you felt. Lisa saw pictures of the dude. This guy is a very, very, very fit, athletic motherfucker, and he knows martial arts. You were telling me your roommate on a physical level was at the point where
you needed a sword.
Well, first off, you needed to retreat into your room to lock the door, and then B, he's at such a force where you're scared he's gonna break into this door. Anything can happen. You have to use a sword. Like I just don't get that. Like I've tried to look up pictures of this dude, the person who died. I looked him up once or twice, but there's never any like full body shots. He doesn't look like a physical person to me. So to that level. So that's also crazy to me.
Right.
You're a martial artist. You could have just used your hands, your feet, all
you
of
are
that.
the weapon.
You could have, and also, not for nothing, you could have already finished him the first round of the fight before it even resorted to him trying to go into the bedroom. I don't know why we did
you just
this
live
now.
in a world of Mortal Kombat? Finish him.
Listen, I learned at a very young age, there's no fucking rules in a street fight. If we're fucking fighting, we have to continue this until it's either broke. Not until one of us dies. I'm not saying that, folks. I'm not gonna go there with that. But you know, where I grew up at initially before Long Island, like I was raised in Queens. It's the whole thing there. Street fighting. If a street fight happens, you got to continue that fight until you know they can't get back up or someone's breaking the shit up. No one broke up the fight in this case. Right. And if he was coming at you that hot, then allegedly, then you gotta like knock him out or something, or just, I don't know, fucking leave.
Oh, or that.
Yeah. So that just, I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. But yeah, they charged him a fucking year later. And then they arrested him on murder charges that were tied to Sutter's murder. Initially, he was facing a life sentence in prison with a possibility of parole after 26 years, with his prosecutors asking for him to be held on a $1 million bail. He ended up pleading guilty to one count of voluntary manslaughter on March 16th, 2017.
Not
and
even
he was
murder.
sentenced. Yeah.
Wow.
Voluntary manslaughter. And he was sentenced to up to 6 years in prison. However, according to one of his previous co-stars from Power Rangers Wild Force, Jackie Guzman, they shared in an interview that he has been recently released from prison back in 2020, supposedly on good behavior.
COVID.
So
they started letting everybody out.
Exactly. And I mean, it's California, so it wouldn't surprise me. But he has stayed relatively out of sight from the public eye since his release from prison for the murder of his roommate. It just, again, the severity of
the police agreed with you, obviously. And he pled. I mean, I'm surprised they gave him a plea for voluntary manslaughter because 6 years is not a lot of time. And then what? That was 2017?
2017, they charged him with that. Yeah.
So he didn't even do 3 years.
Nope.
And he took a life with a fucking sword.
And I know some people are listening to this going like, well, maybe it really was self-defense. But folks, I need you to understand self-defense is self-defense. He himself stated they were fighting wherever in the apartment. Fight ends magically. I don't know how. You now go back to your bedroom. You're saying this person's trying to break in. It's one thing if you would have stabbed this motherfucker through the door or stabbed him as he was opening that door, but he broke in. You guys reignited that fight again. And then somehow during the scuffle, you took the time to get the sword and stab him multiple times. And he just felt like
still coming at you.
Yeah, there's...
yeah, it does. It sounds
adding
fishy.
up.
Yep.
But that's the problem. It's like, you know, we're only getting one side of the story because whatever Ricardo's saying, it's what he's saying and what his girlfriend's saying. If she's corroborating with him, then...
Well, you know the saying, right? There's both sides in the truth.
Mm-hmm.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Yeah. So it's just wild to me. I mean, definitely let us know your thoughts. If you guys think he genuinely made a mistake, let me know some of your theories, because I still think partially it's drug related too. One of these motherfuckers, if not both, were definitely high on something to be doing what they're doing. But
interesting.
You guys let us know what you think. Given the severity of the crime, it was shocking as fuck, at least for me, that he only ended up serving basically like 3 years in prison for committing murder. And this is like one case where being a celebrity didn't necessarily pay off for him, because I mean, he's just a Power Ranger. I was gonna say, yeah, he's just a Power Ranger. Let's face it, Power Rangers are looked at like subclass actors. A lot of them try to break out and do things, very few do. But yeah, although he stated that he killed his roommate in self-defense, there was no real evidence as to the exact reasoning behind their altercation with each other to this day. Medina claimed that it was because they were arguing over his girlfriend, but we'll never really fucking know because Sutter's dead, so we can't get that side of the story concerning the events that happened that night. For all we know, there could have been some ulterior motives that played a role in the murder that we just don't know. So that's all I got about former Cole Evans, Wildlife Red Ranger. Wild Force, yeah. I'm sorry. Whoops, Wild Force. There is a Wildlife Power Rangers.
Really?
They have so many fucking things. Yeah, so I can't keep up with this, but it was Wild Force. This one was Wild Force. But yeah.
Well, with that being said, today, folks, we recorded correctly our first video for the Patreon. So I'm going to launch the Patreon next week. It should probably be available Monday. So you can go and sign up for one of two tiers. Tier number 1 is the peek behind the curtain tier. And that'll give you a peek behind the curtain into us recording. So you'll be able to see us chit-chatting about this episode and all the episodes to come if you pay $5 a month. And then after that level, there's level Don't Do Crime, folks. And that is the $10 level. And with that, you get ad-free episodes in audio version. And all of these Patreon videos are ad-free. And you also get the video recording. And then you'll also get some little gifties from us here and there. Maybe a thank you card, maybe some stickers. Maybe we'll do merch giveaways. We'll definitely have Patreon shout outs once we have patrons.
Yes. We'll definitely shout you guys out.
Yeah. And there's going to be some extra fun content on there. I think we're going to do some blooper reels we'll put up on there where we're just kind of chit chatting about our lives. Usually we just bullshit in the beginning of recording. My wonderful Aunt Carrie agreed yesterday to do an interview with us.
Yes.
She's the one who was on our TikTok with her fabulous caution tape tutu around her neck. So she's going to come on and do a one-on-one little blurb with us. So we'll put the link up in the show notes for this episode for you to go to the Patreon and check out what we're dropping for you. It should be a lot of fun. I mean, we're pretty ridiculous as individuals, and there's a lot you don't absurd. Get from the audio. You get to see me crying and snorting and all the other things that happened from Justin's ridiculous story about the ghosts in Domingo's house. And shout out to our friends who kind of made appearances by accident in this episode. Adrian and Domingo, we love you guys.
Thanks for listening, Adrian. Because he always listens, he always comments, he texts us, and reaches out.
So let's outro.
All right. When you look back at the history of the creative arts, it takes a lot of darkness to create the light the arts bring to the world.
Thanks for joining us this week. And if you enjoyed our conversation, please subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and go over to Apple Podcasts to rate and review.
Please check out our sources listed in the episode notes. They're pretty crazy and amazing.
They pretty much are. And you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Crime of the Arts Podcast.
We're looking forward to having you back next week. Until next time, peace out, everybody.